So here are my 3 notebooks as of recording. One of the reasons why I wanted to pick this journal is I realized that I was missing someplace to explore my own thoughts. And it recently occurred to me that that was a real gap in my own journey of understanding who I am now, who I want to become, and how I am becoming that person. So stay tuned, and I will be back in a couple of months to let you know how it's going. Welcome to this video. I'm Megan, and I think the most productivity advice, the most productivity tools are answering the wrong question. And this is a space where I try to figure out how to ask different questions, the ways that we spend our day, and what it looks like to locate ourselves on our journey of becoming. So I've been doing a loose series on different tools that I've been trying and different ways that I'm using journals, apps, software, techniques. And one of the things that I realized in the last few months that I was missing was a journaling practice. I had a planner, I had to-do list, I had project management, I even had some writing techniques that I was using, but I didn't have a journal practice. I used to journal all the time. I used to do a combination of a journal and commonplace book. But for some reason, that practice really dropped off my radar over the last 2 years, and I thought I wanted to bring it back. I also was thinking about, how do I use notebooks? Like, what is the value of a notebook for me? Is it being able to capture everything, go back to it? Is it the tactile experience of using it? And is it the aesthetic? And it's kind of all of those things. But one of the things that really stood out to me when I reflect on how I use notebooks and how they've been in my life is that I don't actually value them as an archive or as a resource to go back to. The value for me is in the process of using it and in the process of doing the work of putting my thoughts on paper and externalizing them so that I can really see them and interact with them in a different way. With that, we kind of have this weird tension of, I really want a beautiful aesthetic experience, but I don't plan on keeping. So I wasn't sure how to handle that. I wasn't sure what that meant. I have some beautiful hemlock and oak journals and planners that I love using. I ended up throwing them out after a year went by, and I used them and a year went by. So I really just kind of started thinking about what I wanted to do, what I wanted to use, what would make a difference for me, and returning to a journaling practice. So I ended up doing a Paper Republic journal. One, I was kind of curious about the actual physical paper that they used. And two, I really found myself intrigued by this idea that you have a cover that ages and grows and changes with you as you use it, but then you can replace what's inside. You can include different notebooks. You can put something in here and use it as a reference. And you have different ways of using notebooks. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how I've been using my Paper Republic journal. This is not a review, although yes, the leather does smell as good as everyone says. This isn't a review. I bought this with my own money, and this is how I've been using it for the last few months. So what I decided to do was to start using a lined version for the actual day-to-day journaling. This is going to be a combination, maybe a commonplace book, a brain dump journal, and also I have prompts that I keep at the back in the little billfold that if I am really stuck and I really feel a need to start writing, I have some prompts that can guide me, whether on a daily or a quarterly basis. So, how I've been finding myself using this is just kind of as a several times a week. I'm not trying to go for daily. I'm not trying to build a streak. I'm just trying to hold the fact that I have this beautiful journal waiting for me when I'm ready to come to it. And the intent is that this line journal that I'm using on a regular basis is not going to be the long-term artifact. What I've decided to do is to take this smaller journal here and have very specific entries in this at very specific times. So, like, for example, I have quarter one, and I'm addressing who am I becoming, what am I building, and what am I learning. And then I want to put a future self question. So at the end of this year, I can go back and see how I would answer that. Like, what is a question that I want my future self to be thinking about? And how did I incorporate that question into my life? What did I learn or not learn? Did I do or not do something? Did I arrive somewhere I hoped to it? Or am I still on the way to it? So my goal is that this little book becomes the artifact that I keep over time. I had planned to use it to do this every 6 weeks. Right now it's looking like it's going to be every quarter. And it'll take me a while to fill up this little journal. So this could become a multi-year resource, a multi-year reference. Shows me what were the questions that occupied me in 2026? What were the things that I've learned? What are the things that I'm most proud of? What can I realize or decide was most significant about that time of my life? And then that way, this daily journal then feeds this reflection and multi-year or longitudinal journal, if you will. So it's been 6 months since I started using this. I love the experience of using it. I actually have a Cavaco. I forget which pen this is. It's kind of an entry-level fountain pen and a pen holder clipped on here. That way, if I need to, I can just take this with me and I can take it to a coffee shop, which I have yet to do. But it's an idea, isn't it? And yeah, I like it. I'm still figuring out how I'm using it. I'm not sorry I bought it, but I'm also realizing that it's holding a space for me to bring myself to it, and it's honoring the fact that I'm bringing myself to it. Does that make sense? It is, yeah, it's because I have this aesthetically pleasing artifact that with a writing tool that's comfortable, that produces beautiful marks on the paper, it's thing that I know when I sit down, I'm honoring my experience. I'm honoring who I am and who I want to become. I'm treating it with the seriousness that it deserves in the moment. Even if parts of this are not going to be artifacts that I go back to in a couple of years, at least I know that I have honored the journey that I'm taking. I'm becoming who I want to be, who I'm designed to be, and recognizing that it takes effort and it takes energy and it takes time. And to do that with cheap materials, just, why wouldn't you do something? Why wouldn't you use something lovely? Why wouldn't you want to use something that brings joy to your day? Why aren't your daily thoughts worth a beautiful experience with the tools that you have? So yeah, that's how I'm using Paper Republic Journal. That's how I'm approaching and thinking about my regular journaling practice. And that's how it's kind of fitting in to all the other tools that I've been talking about and thinking about them not as a means of optimization, not as a way to produce something more efficiently, but as a way to notice who I am today, as a way to notice the ways that I've changed. I tend to not pay attention to what I've done. I tend to see where I've missed the mark. And this reminds me that no, I've done and accomplished and I've changed and I've grown. And it also shows me where I might be growing in ways that I didn't plan or didn't intend, and gives me the chance to find out, is that really what I want? So that's my experience with the Paper Republic Journal. And I hope it helps you turn to your own tools and your own experiences in a way that brings to life your journey, in a way that honors who you are and who you want to become. So drop me a line. Let me know what you think of this. Let me know what your own experience has been. And I hope that you have a lovely day.